Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, here for your daily dose of the roars as I scream about the very, very stupid things that are going on in the technology world. Anyways, I'm here on location at American Underground in Durham. I'm teaching a class for Silicon Dojo tonight on AI computer vision using the Moondream system. Should be a pretty good class tonight. There will be a full video of that class here on the YouTube channel, probably tomorrow my time. Who knows when you're actually watching this video. But anyways, I'm very excited to be here. I do love American Underground. Absolutely wonderful place. But anyways, we're not here to hear about happy things. We're not here to talk about what's going well in the technology world. No, we're here to scream about stupid things in the technology world. And so here's an interesting question for you. In the modern world of artificial intelligence, what happens if you degrade the models your users are using and they don't notice? So this is one of those kind of philosophical questions I've been thinking about for a while now, where so many of our AI companies, right, OpenAI, Anthropic, those types of companies, they keep pushing these frontier models, right, more and more advanced. OpenAI currently is going through this whole code red thing because apparently Gemini Pro 3 is better than OpenAI or GPT-5 or whatever. And one of the things I've talked about for a while is, at least for me as a normal user, most of these models were fine enough like a year ago. And I'm not being snarky, and I'm not even trying to be snotty. Like they've been fine enough for a while, right? The biggest frustration I actually have using models, so I do pay for ChatGPT, for those fancy little featured images, thumbnails that you see. I do pay for that. But the biggest problem that I have with ChatGPT is that they keep upgrading the models, and then the models stop working the way I've gotten used to them working. Like the model, wait for this, the model was doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I understood how it did it. I understood how the quirks worked. And so I was able to pay $20 a month in order to get output that I could actually make some money on. And then they quote unquote upgrade the model. And all of a sudden my shit breaks and it starts giving me crap that I don't want. And now all of a sudden this better model is functionally worse for me. And this is one of the questions that I've had with these models is, do we need to keep focusing on the models, or do we need to start focusing on the subsystems around the models? Improved RAG, retrieval augmented generation, improved other things like that versus actually the model itself. And so that's what's curious here, coming from Gizmodo, is OpenAI, it appears, in order to save money, is going to be defaulting their free users onto one of their lesser models. And so an interesting question is gonna come up. Will their users know? If OpenAI defaults users to a worse quality model, and the users either don't know or don't care, doesn't that bring into question basically the entire path that they're on? I would argue it does. One of the things I don't understand with OpenAI and their whole code red crap is apparently they were doing some interesting things with the OpenAI, the ChatGPT platform. They were trying to bring commerce into the platform. They were trying to build these subsystems around ChatGPT, around the LLM, to actually bring in functionality. Sam Altman comes out and says, no, code red, we have to improve the actual model itself, put all this other stuff on the shelf. And I'm like, yeah, I would prefer that other stuff being implemented into ChatGPT long before I would care about an improved model. So I think this is one of those things just to kind of be noodling and thinking about, with everything that's currently going on. So anyways, OpenAI defaults free users to cheapest model to cut back on costs. Oh my golly, can you believe it? OpenAI is going to try to cut back on costs by, giving free users a worse quality model. I do also think this is an interesting thing with the whole OpenAI and the whole AI crap show that's currently going on, the AI fraud. AI fraud, as I call it, is that there's this whole idea that there's so many users. Look at all of these users using AI, but so much of the AI is free. Like Sam Altman literally came out. Sam Altman came out and said the people that are using his platform for $200 a month, the pro users spending $200 a month, still cost OpenAI money. Right? And so if you think the users using OpenAI that pay $200 a month are costing OpenAI money, God knows how much the free users are costing. So essentially, they're giving away all of this free product and then pretending to be successful. You know, I've talked about this before in the normal world, in the sane world. Let's say I wanted to come up with a pizza company, right? I wanted to come up with the #1 pizza company in the world. So what I did is I went around and I got all of this investor money. And with investor money, I went out and I built all of these pizza shops all around the country. And then what I did is with the investor money, I started baking pizzas and I started giving the pizzas away for free. Right? And so my pizza company would become more successful than Domino's, and it would become more successful than Papa John's. It would have become more successful than local McDonald's and everywhere else. Look at how much pizza we're selling for no money. Right? We're basically just giving pizza away for free. But somehow in the AI world, in the technology world, that would be considered success. Right? They're giving away the products for free and then pretending like, hey, look, we have a great business model here. And you're like, well, yeah, I can have the most successful restaurant in Asheville if I give a pretty good quality product and I just hand it away for free as much as anybody wants. So anyways, it is curious that they're trying to roll back the costs here. I don't know. We'll see how that one goes. ChatGPT users who aren't paying for one of the higher tier subscriptions are going to have to talk to OpenAI's cheapest AI model. Wire spotted a recent update in the release notes for ChatGPT that indicates free users and ChatGPT Go subscribers will now have their prompts served to the GPT 4.2 instant model by default and will no longer have more complicated queries routed to more powerful models. So one of the things that OpenAI was trying to do is kind of like this whole multi-model thing where you do a query based off of how complicated the query is. The query would go to different models. Those different models might cost more money to run on the infrastructure side. So basically the idea here is that the instant model is supposed to be relatively small, relatively fast. So if you're a free user, you'll just get the instant model. In an update dated December 11th, OpenAI indicated that it is, quote, removing automatic model switching for reasoning in ChatGPT for free and Go users. Quote, previously, some questions were automatically routed to the thinking model when ChatGPT determined it might help. To maximize choice, free users will now use GPT 5.2 Instant by default and can still choose to use reasoning anytime by selecting thinking from the tools menu in the message composer. So the idea here is instead of automatically going to the higher quality LLM, you might actually have to like check a box, which most users aren't actually going to do. OpenAI describes its instant model as a, quote, powerful workhorse for everyday work and learning, whereas thinking, quote, solves harder work tasks more effectively and with more polish. It's also noteworthy that the change is a cost-saving measure for OpenAI, which is almost certainly banking on the fact that a significant chunk of free users aren't going to look at the model they are using and will go along with the company filtering them into its cheapest available option, which is probably true. But this is one of the interesting things in business, where you can be 100% successful and fail miserably at the exact same time. Think about this. If OpenAI can route their free users to the cheapest, to the worst quality model, and the users do not realize, what does that really mean? That basically means that they don't care about the better models. And what does that do to the whole idea of putting gigawatts of AI data centers into space? This is one of the issues that I have with this whole AI thing is there's all of this infrastructure build, there's all of this CapEx expense before we've proven that there's a real value proposition to what these companies are offering. So anyways, that's basically the idea here is for the free or Go users. Go users pay $5 a month. They're in like third world countries, India, that type of thing. So for them, basically they'll be sent to the instant model instead of automatically routing the better models. Theoretically, they can change the model, so there'll be a little drop-down box. They want to use a better model in order to answer the question. But that's basically what do they call dark patterns? That's the dark pattern. The idea with dark patterns is you give the users the illusion of choice, right? So if you go in front of Congress, if you go in front of an auditing firm, right, the user has the option. But how users actually use systems, they'll never use that option, that type of thing. So if you have a drop down, a few people might actually use it, but most users aren't even going to know it's there. So basically this will just route to that cheapest, that cheaper model. And so they're then going to be saving money per query, but it's got to bring up that question of, do you really need 5.3? Do you really need 5.5? Do you really need 6? Is the value in 2026 a better LLM, or is the value in 2026 all of the accoutrement that goes around the LLM? And I would argue that's where the real value is going to be. The problem for a lot of these companies, though, is you don't need tremendous infrastructure cost for fucking database systems. Right? If you create robust database systems that have a database backend that can provide a lot of power and a lot of value for users, there's a fundamental problem there. That provides a lot of value for users in order to purchase things, in order to find when show times are, geographic information, all that kind of stuff. All of that information can just be put into a database. That provides a tremendous value to you, but it doesn't require that much infrastructure expense. Don't get me wrong, it's not no infrastructure expense. It's not no data centers, but it's just like a data center, a couple of data centers. It's not multi-Manhattan-sized data centers. And so what happens to this whole AI fraud when they realize the real value proposition for artificial intelligence is less about that resource-intensive LLM system and more about the subsystems that go around it? I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see how this crap show explodes. So what do you think about this? What do you think about OpenAI defaulting the free users to the cheaper version? What do you think about the idea that the free users might not realize? And more profoundly, what does this mean for the entire AI fraud that is currently going on? What do you think about this whole crap show? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Do remember I do these videos in order to support Silicon Dojo, authorityless, gatekeeperless, free to end user hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is you want to do here in Durham, North Carolina. Coming back to Asheville, North Carolina soon. I am here on location with fake plants here at American Underground. I'm teaching a class on computer vision, AI computer vision, using the Moondream model tonight. If you're interested in classes, take a look at silicondojo.com to see what the schedule is. If you want to help support free to user education, there's a donor box link down below. And with that, see y'all later.